Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. This is a stove and chimney installation that I did in a holiday house that isn't in the UK and so doesn't have to comply with building regs. It's the cheapest and dirtiest way I could find to put this stove, which is a quite high efficiency German workshop stove, cost €90, into a house. It's just a piece of 5-inch flexible chimney liner, and then up going through the roof is a 6-inch piece of twin wall. And then on the outside I've got, I think, another half meter, maybe another meter actually, coming up here of the same stuff, twin wall. And then on top there's a chimney cowl, and the cowl is a hanger for the chimney liner, so it sits up and holds the chimney liner tight so that it won't slide down, and then it's clamped on as well with a little strap. And then there's two guy wires. They're actually just stainless steel flat bars. Then you've got a flashing, collar flashing, rubber flashing, and underneath here there's a rafter hanger for that kind of twin wall pipe. They're all just accessories that you buy on a website, whatever one that you get your chimney supplies from. So the chimney liner is just hanging from above, and then I've got some of this stainless steel banding coming down along, 3 brackets of that, and the stove just has a pipe going into the back of it. It's got a 90-degree bend, which probably doesn't comply with building regs, and this type probably doesn't comply either, but it's got a really good draft and it works really well, so I don't much care. If you've got a carbon monoxide detector fitted, you're pretty safe. Fire's gone out at the moment, but the stove is hot. Can't see anything in there, but it is hot because that stove fan thing is still going around gently. So let's sketch up what I've done. We've got the interior, and all I did was I stuck this twin wall pipe through, then I stuck the flexible liner down, and then the elbow bend, and then the stove. And I should also say the stove is just sitting on a patio flag. Now, the building regs that you would observe in the UK are that the stove should be 6 inches off the ground, and there will be a proximity measurement between the flue and combustible surfaces. Now, this isn't a combustible surface, it's a concrete wall, so in theory you could have the flue right up against it, but it might damage the plasterwork on the wall, so I've left it about 300mm there, maybe 250. I haven't seen any damage. Up here, normally the proximity is a bit further, so I've got it at about 600. Again, it really depends on the flue system, because if you have a flue, some flues can be 1 inch or something like that, 25mm away from timber. The twin wall system, I think, can be 12mm or 25mm away from rafters, so you just have to keep it far enough away from the rafters that it doesn't char them, I guess. Although I think even if it was tied up against it, a twin wall wouldn't do any difference, any damage. So what did this cost? Well, the twin wall was the most expensive. I think that was about 90 quid a set. The stainless was about 110 or something like that. So that's 180 for the twin wall. Then you've got accessories and bits and bobs, because all of these, the cowling there on top was about 60 quid or something like that. That cowling, you've got clips, bands, strap, guy wires, banding. So let's put another 40 quid on there. An elbow bend, 20 quid. What are we getting up to in the chimney system? 410, I think. Plus a stove. The stove is €90, so we call it 500. These are all new components. Everything was new. Oh, the patio blocks as well. They're about 20 quid as well. So you're saying about 520, something like that. So I just have the slabs up on bricks. The bricks are on little pieces of carpet, so it doesn't damage the wood floor in time. What I would do is chop out the wood floor, but I wanted to check the installation, check the draft and all that. And what I'm thinking about doing is making a big German style cackle oven heat exchanger. So it'll keep this stove, because that gives you really good combustion, but the pipe gets really hot the whole way up, which radiates its heat into the room, but even going up out the top, it's still hot. So I'd rather capture some of that heat. I'm not worried. I burn really dry timber, so I'm not worried about tar and that kind of stuff. I tend to burn hardwoods rather than softwoods, which typically don't have much tar, and so if they don't have much moisture and any tar or oils within the wood, they burn really clean. Like whenever I clean chimneys, I don't get that sticky residue that some people get who burn, you know, really crappy wet wood, but you know, other people will probably suffer. But if you do these things carefully, like burning firewood, you should be okay. I have to trim around the top there. I just went straight through and then stuffed it up with rock wool insulation to fill the gaps, stop any draft coming up out the chimney. I need to trim around here as well, but as it stands, it's just for a visual effect rather than anything else. So I might do that with a bit of stainless. But yeah, anyway, there's an idea for a cheap and quick, and it really was quick. It didn't take long. The hardest bit was cutting through the slates because I couldn't take the ridge off this house. It's a solid concrete beam because of the proximity to the Atlantic, so there's high winds and there's a solid concrete beam, which is good for screwing the guy ropes to, but not good for taking off. So I had to break the slates and just flash in underneath, or concrete tiles rather than slates, break them, flash in underneath, and that worked out okay. So all in all, fitting the chimney took less than half a day, which, you know, is what it is. You could buy a twin wall system, but then I think you'd lose a lot of heat because it would be insulated, and that's really what you should do. But I didn't. So there, let's see if we can get an all-in-one angled view of this. If I turn the thing sideways, not quite, there's too much stuff in the way. Almost, that's almost it. Almost it. There you go. Okay, thanks for watching, see you later.